So now, next question says, the primary difference between absolute and comparative advantage is that absolute advantage refers to the ability to produce more of a good or service using the same amount of resources, and comparative advantage refers to the ability to produce a good or service at a lower opportunity cost. B says absolute advantage refers to the ability to produce a good or service at a lower opportunity cost, and comparative advantage refers to the ability to produce more of a good or service using the same amount of resources. 3 says absolute advantage is a concept that was utilized in communist countries, and comparative advantage is a capitalist idea. And 4 says absolute advantage can never change, while comparative advantage depends on the relative cost of a good's resources. And so, looking at the definitions, one seems to directly encompass the two definitions of absolute and comparative advantage. Absolute advantage refers to the ability of somebody or some party to produce more of a good or service given the same amount of resource. And comparative advantage refers to the ability to produce that resource at a lower opportunity cost. That's the big difference. And so one is going to be the best answer here. And this is really just a definition-based question. So let's take a look at the previous tutor's answer. They also said 1, and they said that the theory of absolute advantage was proposed by Adam Smith as a basis of international trade. This theory suggests that an economic entity possesses an absolute advantage in the production of a good or service if it can produce a greater quantity of the same using the same amount of resources. And greater output with the same amount of inputs gives an absolute advantage. The theory of comparative advantage, however, does not compare the output generated or the input used explicitly. It measures the opportunity cost of a production activity to determine the comparative advantage of a producer. Simply put, an economic entity is said to have a comparative advantage in the production of a good or service if it can produce the same at a lower opportunity cost compared to its competitors. Yeah, great answer. Good distinction. Nothing to add there.